Hi, it's Mary. I'm the Frugal Chef. Hey, let's make a cream of broccoli and cheese today. This is really nice. It's easy to make, super tasty. So let's make this, okay? I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of butter in my pan here. Let that melt. And I'm going to add a medium yellow onion, which I chopped coarsely. Don't worry too much about chopping everything here because we're going to blend this soup. I'm going to season this with some salt and some pepper. Not much pepper, a little bit. And I'm going to grate some nutmeg in here, just a little bit. You just want a pinch, okay? If you are using, grated nutmeg that you have, just use a pinch. If you don't have nutmeg, don't worry about it. Okay, so now I'm just going to stir these onions, and I'm going to let them soften for about 3 minutes. Stirring them occasionally, and then we'll come back. So these cook for about maybe 4 minutes. They're starting to brown. That's perfect. I'm going to add a large garlic clove which I minced, and I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of fresh thyme. If you want to use dried thyme, that's fine. Just use about a quarter teaspoon. We don't want these herbs to overpower the flavor of our broccoli, but they will add a nice touch to that. All we want to do is smell that. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. Now I'm going to transfer, I'll just use my spatula. Mix this, and don't stop mixing it, you just have to stand here. We want to cook this for a couple minutes. Be careful not to burn that flour. You don't want that flavor in your soup. You just want to cook it for a couple minutes. Okay, now I'm going to slowly add 4 cups of chicken stock. I just made this. I want to make some chicken salad sandwiches for school tomorrow. So this is just homemade chicken stock. I didn't even salt it because I don't want, the salt to alter my soup. If you don't have homemade chicken broth, go ahead and use low salt, low sodium chicken broth, okay? Look, now this is gonna get lumpy, of course, because of the flour, so we gotta whisk it well. Don't worry about it. It'll come, it'll come through. Don't freak out. You won't have a lumpy soup here. If you want to keep this soup completely vegetarian, go ahead and use water or use vegetable stock instead of chicken. See, now there's no lumps there. It's nice and smooth. So now I'm just going to bring this to a boil, and I'm going to lower the heat and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. I want it to thicken. Then we'll add our broccoli. So this is thickened like I want it to. Perfection. I'm going to add my broccoli now. I have 3, of the about that big heads of broccoli. So I'm going to say it's probably about 2 cups once it's been cut up. I'm going to put this in here. Of course, I washed it and I cut off the larger stem and separated them. So now I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes until my broccoli is cooked through. Make sure to to stir this occasionally. You don't have to stand here and stir it constantly, but you do want to stir it occasionally. What you want is the broccoli to be tender and cooked through. It'll take about 10 minutes. By the way, while this is cooking, I have a little bit of store-bought shoestring French fries in the oven because I'm gonna garnish my soup with a little bit of those and a little bit of parsley. If you want to do that, take the advantage of the time that this is gonna take to cook, to do, you know, to put them in the oven. You can also use croutons if you'd like, you can store-bought, or go check out my video on homemade croutons and, you know, make those if you get ambitious. Put those in your soup. Yum, yum. See if you... So my broccoli is cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this with my immersible blender. If you don't have one, cool this down a bit and then blend it in batches in, you know, in a stand-up blender. So I will see you when this is blended. Our soup is nice and blended. Now we'll finish it. Taste this for salt now and see if you need to add some. But remember, you're adding cheddar cheese to this that has salt in it. So be very careful. If you want to wait until the cheese is in and then season it, that might be smarter. But just be very careful. All we need to do now is add half a cup of heavy cream to this. You know, we don't want this to boil. We don't want it to curdle our cream. We're gonna add about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Let this melt in here. And finally, 2 tablespoons of butter, and just stir that in there until it's nice and melted. This, my friends, is ready to be served. So I ladled the soup into a bowl. I put a little bit of those fries I told you about. Admittedly, I kind of overbrowned my fries, but that's okay. They'll be nice and crispy in this soup. Again, you can use croutons if you would like. And I just garnish it with a little bit of parsley. And now I'm gonna eat. So bon appetit, my friends, from thefrugalchef.com. Make sure you come and see us. We have all kinds of recipes that are not in video form. Eat well without going broke. I will see you guys soon.